Radio Yo. Here is the 11 o'clock news as read to you by Brian Wandera. Our news is brought to you by Misango, Grain Millers and Oasis Quality Bakery. And here are the stories making the news headlines. Head teacher arrested in Kabale. Ajmani records 6 absentees. A master's student dies at KIU. Chanja Road under construction. Sitting PLE in Kabale. Museveni to work with Samia Suluhu. Kasese leaders appeal come. KCCA clashes with traders. Monica Chibalama dies in bathroom. International news headline: Samia Suluhu has Hassan sewn in. Drone identified in Belgium Skellenbrug. South Africa criticizes UN stance on Western. And lastly, in international news headline, Pope denounced violence in Sudan. Here the news in details. Police in Kabale district have arrested Rababa Primary School head teacher Drake Keisha for allegedly blocking a P7 candidate Ezekiel Ahimbisiwe from sitting primary living examination over 70,000 coaching fee. Chigezi Regional Police spokesperson Elimate confirmed the arrest. Let's get the details on this story.
That because he never paid the coaching fee of 70,000 during the recent teachers' industrial action, the head teacher was arrested after the relative of this helpless boy, one Mugera Nakumuza Esau, reported at Kabale police station complaining of his brother's denial of doing the exams. And moreover, he had fulfilled the requirements and the boy was fully registered. But this morning that was denied the same. This victim is one Ezekiel Ahimbisiwe for index number 002/002-472. After the arrest of the head teacher, when he was asked why this could have happened, he said that the boy wasn't anywhere.
In other stories, in Ajumani district, a total of 5,903 candidates were registered to sit the PLE in 45 examination centers across the district this year. Out of the 6, 3 learners are from KO1 Primary School and 1 each from Esaya Okangali and Omia Primary School. Rafael Vusia, the head teacher of KO1 Primary School, confirmed that the 3 learners who missed the examination had dropped out of school. When I tried to make a follow-up on those people, I found out that the 2 who are South Sudanese went back to their country, while the girl, who is a national, was taken to work in Kampala by her mother. She attributes to the lack of parental support, adding that negative attitudes towards education continue to affect the completion rate at primary level. The Uganda National Examination Board, UNEB, began the examination with mathematics in the morning and social studies and religious education in the afternoon. But today, they are completing with integrated science and English. Still in the stories to come, a master's student dies at KIU. A master's student at Kampala International University, KIU, Western Campus, on Sunday afternoon collapsed and died while revising for his examination. The deceased, identified as Edison Alinda, a resident of Kagote, Bushani District, was pursuing a master's education in educational administration and management. According to fellow students, Alinda was revising for his paper at about 2 p.m. in one of the lecturer rooms when he suddenly collapsed. He was immediately rushed to KIU Teaching Hospital, but medical personnel pronounced him dead a few minutes later. There's still news making around the corner. We come to Chanja Road under construction. As a way of boosting the country's economy and the community growth, several roads across communities are under construction to mark the end of dusty, potholes, floods and easy transport in everyday life. Just as a responsible journalist, we managed to tour some of the roads that are under construction, and such road is the one that connects Gayaza Chisasi and Bukoto Chanja, and besides the one that connects Kungu to Chira Town Council that is fully tarmacked and waiting for only street lights. As construction goes on, road users are urged to follow road signs carefully to avoid accidents. Let's get the details on the story. The economy boosts the country. We, the journalists of your radio, have managed to move to different parts of the country to find what developments have been done, and so far we are here in Chanja where the construction of the road is commencing, and soon the community people living in this area will be able to access the road without any disturbance. As our responsibility, we managed to carry out a few information from residents who are operating business within this area, and they were able to tell us that it has been so dusty, flooding and the road being impassable, but all this will end very soon. The construction is not only in this area, but we are also able to move to different parts within Chanja, and here we are connected to Kungu, the road that connects to Chira, which has also been constructed, and we are only waiting for the lights. The community within this area has been requested to use the road carefully because it is still under construction, where the speed humps are not yet in installation. For your radio news, I'm Brian here in Chanja. Still in our news, sitting primary living examination in Kabale has been impossible, where pipers in Kabale district were dispatched to 82 examination centers using motorcycles due to the area's rugged terrain, according to the district inspector of schools, Wilberforce Navasa. He explained that each motorcycle carrying examination papers was escorted by a police officer to ensure security. Let's get the details on this story. In some parts of the country, primary living examinations were delayed due to hardships in transportation. Like in Kabale, almost all centers received their exams using motorcycles being escorted by security. In more stories, still here in Uganda, Museveni to work with Samia Suluhu. Tanzania's Electoral Commission said Suluhu, who took power in 2021 after the days in office of her predecessor, received more than 31.9 million votes, or 97.66% of the total, handling her a 5-year term. President Museveni has congratulated his Tanzanian counterpart, Hassan Samia Suluhu, upon her re-election, noting that her victory was a reflection of the confidence Tanzanians have in her leadership. I congratulate Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan President of the United Republic of Tanzania, and the Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM party on her re-election as President of Tanzania. This victory reflects the confidence that the people of Tanzania have in her leadership and vision. Uganda and Tanzania share historical bonds of friendship and cooperation. I look forward to working with President Samia to further strengthen our partnership in trade, infrastructure, and regional integration for the peace and prosperity of our people's President Museveni said in a Monday statement. Still in more news, we are receiving in Kasese leaders have appealed for calm following recent armed attacks on a security installation that occurred on Saturday, November 1st, 2025. Leaders are urging residents to remain peacefully vigilant and to cooperate with security agencies as investigations continue into the incident. The appeals for calm follow coordinated assaults by unknown assailants, some armed with pangas and catapults on the Kasese Police Barracks and the Chikongo Police Post. Security forces responded, and operations resulted in the death of several attackers and the arrest of others. One soldier and one civilian woman were also killed in a related incident in the region. Let's get the story on this news.
It's true. Kasese was attacked. In fact, they attacked two barracks. They attacked Wandera and Kasese barrack at around 5:30. But all in all, our forces responded quickly. 15 have been arrested, including the woman. 5 injured our own, and 5 were put out of action. We are armed with pangas, knives, herbs, and catapults. Let's work together, because once an insecurity comes in a place, it affects all of us. We implement the anti-drone officers, and they want to eat themselves. Let's share the information quickly so that we may ease in our operations, because most of the operations are intelligence-led. And once they inform us in advance, so we are even ready to act quickly. So they should not say that, oh no, situation has gone out of hand, It's like somebody may be attacked by malaria. You never know, anytime it can get you. Yes, but now the community should be in the know that we are in charge, and I think we are going to do what we are supposed to do, as usual.
More stories are coming in. Kampala Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago has called for urgent government intervention and accountability following Friday's devastating flash floods that claimed at least 3 lives and caused massive destruction to business in the city center. Speaking during NBS Morning Breeze on Monday, Lukwago criticized what he termed as government silence and negligence in the wake of the disaster that submerged key commercial areas, including the new taxi park and major town streets. By now, we should have gotten at least a statement from the Minister of Trade about what is happening to traders in Kampala due to the floods. I don't know if you know the person holding the portfolio, Lukwago said. Lukwago faulted city leaders and central government ministries for ignoring earlier warnings over the fragile. Let's get the details on this story.
Central Business District were left submerged this morning following a heavy downpour that triggered flash floods across the area. The floods swept through streets, shops, and the newly established taxi park, paralyzing business activity.
Reconstructing that drainage channel as a public good. No, it is his private property now. He secured the title, albeit illegally, over that particular corridor. He got no plan, approved plan by KCCA. He has got no Asia environment social impact assessment report from NEMA. He doesn't have it. Neither does he have any authorization from KCCA of whatever nature to carry on that kind of construction which is going on. So in a nutshell, it's land grabbing this guy does development. And that's the reason for me I have had no qualms resisting it.
They warn that blocking the channel undermines the city's flood management system, exposing the downtown area of recurrent flooding.
I have called for an emergency meeting on Monday at 10 here. And I do expect the following people to attend. First, the Minister for Kampala, or the Deputy, or both of them. Then the Executive Director, Deputy ED, and all the directors. The authority councillors and their leadership in the council. Then the Mayor Central Division and his executive or cabinet. Obviously, the RCC of Kampala. These are the different categories of leaders I expect here to attend that meeting on Monday. Obviously, we have also called Issa Sechito and the entire leadership of Kasita, and of course, members of the business community.
Today's flooding, however, has reignited questions about the cost of such development.
Still in the stories making the news, Monica Nabukenya Chibalama dies suddenly, leaving children orphaned after husband's 2019 abduction. Monica Nabukenya Chibalama, wife of abducted National Unity Platform supporter John Bosco Chibalama, was found dead in her Mukono home bathroom on Sunday, leaving her young children without parents after 6 years of searching for her husband. Chibalama disappeared on June 2019, allegedly seized by security forces.
Other opposition leaders.
With the government confirmed his custody 2023, but denying access. NUP leaders, including Bobby Wine and Joel Senyonyi, expressed a grief and renewed demands for his release as police investigate her death, which shows no initial signs of foul play. Let's get the details on the story.
Well, Ugandans and other opposition leaders are still demanding for the release of John Bosco Chibalama, a Ugandan who was abducted by unknown people in 2019, and it is now 4 years since his abduction. President Museveni's government has never given a clear report on the disappearance of John Bosco Chibalama. However, it should be remembered that the Prime Minister of Uganda, who is also the leader of government business, Right Honorable Robin Nabanja, last year confirmed that Chibalama was arrested by security forces and they have him in one of their detention centers.
But we are fortunate that Chibalama was traced. He was arrested recently in October in a place called Kakiri, and he's one of those that is claimed to have killed police officers in Chiboga, Wakiso, and other places.
Now, Moses Walugembe, former journalist with NBS TV, has revealed that Chibalama was murdered by his abductors who tortured him to death. Yes, Moses Walugembe, formerly working with NBS TV, has revealed that, Chibalama was murdered by his abductors, and he revealed this information through his social media platform. In his own words, he said, intelligence on this man is that he was murdered. He died at the hands of the abductors who tortured him to death, and his body was dumped to decompose. That is why the regime is silent whenever calls for his release are made. Yes, that is Moses Walugembe, journalist.
Dear listeners, here are the local news, and we go for a short break, and when we return with international news.
Muzairoziyo ebyenfuna engeri gye bitabuseemu ensangi zino si kirungi kubulwa ssente obulwe n'emmere mu maka ng'endamba misango kwegulira kawunga.
Misango be baluwaabo era basangibwawa?
Misango Grain Millers basangibwa Bukoto Kisaasi Road opposite St. Peter's Church. Bano be balina akawunga ak'omulembe akateekebwateekebwa abakugu eri omukulu omuto n'omukadde ate nga kalimu n'ekirungo ekyongera amaanyi mu mubiri gwo. Kano kali mu bipimo byonna bye walyetaaze. W'essomero omusuubuzi nawe kamukamu bakwaniriza. Ate nawo omulunzi w'enkoko ekibuuzo kyo n'essaala zo baabyanukudde anti bakolera emmere y'enkoko ey'omulembe. Enkoko zo ne zikula mu wiiki 2 abaguzi ne batandika okwetala. Ate nga woogula mu bungi ebyentambula baabitereeza anti ebintu bwe bakutambuliza paka mu luggya lwo. Lwabeetaaze bakubire ku ssimu 772 42 4920 oba 772 42 3939. Misango Grain Millers be bannantamegwa mu mmere y'enkoko kosa n'akawunga ak'omulembe beekwate tojja kwejjusa.
Somesa abatendeke nga bakola okukiirawo.
Omuzadde kankwanjulire essomero eddungi Makerere Modern Secondary School lisangibwa Makerere Chikoni okuliraana Makerere Business Institute lya O ne A-level nga ly'abawala n'abalenzi lya Kisulo awamu n'abo abava wabweru. Tulina computer laboratory ennungi okuzaama, chemistry, physics wamu ne biology lab zirimu ebyuma byonna ebyetaagisa omuyizi okuyita obulungi. Enzikiza zonna zikkirizibwa. Tulina enable center namba abasomesa baffe batendeka okuzaama. Abaana basomera walungi okuzaama. Ebisale byaffe bijja mu buli nsawo ya muzadde. Okumanya ebisingawo tukubire ku 0772 44 88 84 oba 0755 93 12. Nziddamu 0772 44 88 84 oba 0755 93 12. Iye Makerere Modern Secondary School ku lw'empirizi y'omutindo.
Omulabe budwa kutayiza nawe mutayize tomulekera mwaganya gwakusekerera enisewe y'omwenda kuba kusaba koka
Mose ekesigale ejjo amafuta malenya soma gwa Katonda Yesu Omunazaresi leka obukulu bwo Mukama atabulabisiwe Mukama nkwebaza onsitula
kufunfuza mulabe mu buli nsonda ne Bishop Tom Kategere owa Disciples Fellowship Ministries ebukoto.
Omwoyo gw'obulimba kutula kutula omwoyo gw'obwenzi omwoyo gw'obwenzi kutula
Radio, a voice so kind, touching hearts and soothing minds. Tune in now.
Dear listeners, welcome back from that short break, and here we return with the international news. Remember, our news is sponsored by Misango Grain Millers and Oasis Quality Bakery. And not only Oasis Quality Bakery, but we are also sponsored by Elliot Secondary School located in Budom, Pangala, and Primary School also located in Bokoto. Entrust us with your child, you shall not regret. We continue with the international news. Samia Suluhu Hassan sworn in as the Tanzanian president. Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu has been sworn in for a second term following a deeply contested election overshadowed by allegations of rigging, violence, and widespread internet disruption. The October 29 polls have been described by opposition parties as some of the most controversial in the country's recent history, with counts of intimidation, arrest, and disqualification of key opposition figures. A low-key swearing in, the inauguration ceremony took place on Monday, November 3rd, at the National Parade Grounds in Dodoma under tight security and attendance with restricted top officials, diplomats, and military personnel, with the event broadcast live by Tanzanian Broadcasting Corporation. Let's get the details on this matter.
wa Jamhuri ya Burundi, Mheshimiwa Hakainde Hichilema, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Zambia, Mheshimiwa Hassan Sheikh Mahmud, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Shirikisho la Somalia, Mheshimiwa Daniel Chapo, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Msumbiji, Mheshimiwa Jenerali mstaafu Dr. CGDN Chiwenga, Makamu wa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Zimbabwe, Mheshimiwa Jessica Rose Epel, Makamu wa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Uganda, Mheshimiwa Mostradin Abdu, Rais wa Bunge la Muungano wa Visiwa vya Komoro na kiongozi mwandamizi wa pili wa dola, Mheshimiwa Profesa Kithure Kindiki, Makamu wa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Mheshimiwa Anzuluni Isitoleketi, Waziri wa Ushirikiano wa Kikanda na mjumbe maalum wa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo, Mheshimiwa Dr. Emmanuel John Nchimbi, Makamu wa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, Mheshimiwa Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, Rais wa Zanzibar na Mwenyekiti wa Baraza la Mapinduzi, Mheshimiwa Dr. Jakaya Kikwete, Rais mstaafu wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, waheshimiwa makamu wa rais wastaafu, waheshimiwa marais wastaafu wa Zanzibar, mawaziri wakuu wastaafu, Jaji Mkuu wa Mahakama ya Tanzania, Jaji Mkuu wa Zanzibar, wakuu wa vyombo vya ulinzi na usalama, viongozi wote kutoka Tanzania, mwenyekiti wa Tume Huru ya Taifa ya Uchaguzi, viongozi wa vyama rafiki Frelimo na CNDD-FDD na vyama vya siasa vya hapa nchini, waheshimiwa mabalozi, wakuu wa taasisi na mashirika ya kimataifa na wakilishi wa nchi mbalimbali, waheshimiwa wabunge wateule, wawakilishi wateule na madiwani wateule, waheshimiwa viongozi wetu wa dini, ndugu waandishi wa habari na wananchi kwa ujumla, mabibi na mabwana, Tanzania oye! Nianze kwa kumshukuru sana Mwenyezi Mungu kwa kuturuzuku uhai na kutuwezesha kushiriki sherehe hizi za kihistoria kwa taifa letu. Pili, ni washukuru wa Tanzania wote kwa imani yao kwa Chama cha Mapinduzi na kwa mapenzi makubwa na kutupa mimi na makamu wa rais fursa hii adhimu ya kuwatumikia. Shukrani za kipekee kwa viongozi na wanachama wa Chama cha Mapinduzi kwa namna walivyoendesha kampeni kwa mafanikio makubwa sana. Nishukuru tena Tume ya Uchaguzi kwa kuratibu na kusimamia mchakato mzima wa uchaguzi kwa ufanisi usiotiliwa shaka. Ndugu viongozi na ndugu wananchi, katika uchaguzi huu tulikuwa wagombea 17 kutoka vyama mbalimbali vya siasa nchini tukiwania nafasi ya urais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Napenda kuwashukuru sana wenzangu 16 ambao kwa hakika wameonyesha ukomavu wa kidemokrasia kwa kuendesha kampeni ambazo tulishindana kwa hoja na sote tulionyesha kuwa siasa sio vita. Tumemaliza vyema uchaguzi na kumpongeza aliyeshinda.
More stories here. I take you to Belgium, where unidentified drones have been detected for a third consecutive night after Belgium's Kellen-Brugge military base, local media reported on Sunday evening. Personnel at the base, located in Limburg province, spotted the aircraft and deployed a helicopter to intercept them. However, the drones had already vanished, reportedly flying north toward the Netherlands, according to Belgium's national broadcaster VRT. Similar sightings occurred on Friday and Saturday, prompting Defense Minister Theo Franken to announce an investigation. It was a random flyover, but a deliberate operation targeting Kellen-Brugge, Franken wrote on X. Let's get the details on the matter.
Now, a string of mysterious drone sightings across Europe continues. Police in Belgium are investigating drone sightings of a military air base on the weekend. According to Belgian Defense Minister's office, the government received reports last Saturday of drones flying over the air base in northeast Belgium. Authorities deployed a helicopter and police vehicles in pursuit but the drones could not be captured and a drone jammer also failed to intercept them. Belgian minister says suspicions of drone spying over the air base remain, as one of the drones reportedly hovered unusually long over the military facility which houses F-16 fighter jets. While the police are actively investigating and the country's ministers have taken stock of the situation, probe is also underway into multiple drone sightings over a military base in the country's southeast, as well as another on the German border last month. NATO countries have been on high alert in recent weeks after drone sightings and other air incursions, including at airports in Copenhagen, Munich, and in the Baltic region. Some 20 alleged Russian drones entered Polish airspace in September. Belgian defense minister claimed Russia is trying to do this in all European countries. The Belgian defense minister urged the government to spend more on anti-drone defenses.
More on international stories. South Africa has voiced a disappointment following the United Nations Security Council's approval of Resolution 2797 on October 31st, which it says favors Morocco's position in the Western Sahara dispute. Manance Van, South Africa's deputy permanent representative to the UN, said the resolution overlooks the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination. We are concerned that while previous resolutions have acknowledged both the Moroccan autonomy plan and the Sahrawi people's aspiration, this one gives exclusive attention to the Moroccan proposal. Van stated, this approach sidelines self-determination and weakens the intent of Minera's mandate, which is to enable a fair and lasting political solution through a referendum. South Africa, which officially recognized the Swahili Arab Democratic Republic in 2004, has long backed the Polisario Front, the movement seeking independence for Western Sahara. However, diplomatic dynamics in the region appear to be shifting. Still in more news, Pope denounced violence in Sudan. With great soul, I follow the tragic news coming from Sudan, particularly from the city of El Fasher in the afflicted North Darfur region, the Pope said during his angelus address at St. Peter's Square. He denounced indiscriminate violence against women and children, attacks on unarmed civilians, and serious obstacles to humanitarian action that have caused unacceptable suffering to a population already exhausted by long months of conflict. The Pope renewed a heartfelt appeal to the parties involved for a ceasefire and urgent opening of humanitarian corridors. In September, the head of the Catholic Church had called on the international community to increase diplomatic efforts to end this humanitarian catastrophe and ensure humanitarian corridors. Let's get the story on the matter.
Sostenga i sofferenti e tocchi i cuori dei responsabili. Rinnovo un accorato appello alle parti coinvolte per un cessate il fuoco e l'apertura urgente di corridoi umanitari. Invito infine la comunità internazionale a intervenire con decisione e generosità per offrire assistenza e sostenere quanti si prodigano nel portare soccorso. Preghiamo anche per la Tanzania, dove dopo le recenti elezioni politiche sono scoppiati scontri con numerose vittime. Invito tutti a evitare ogni forma di violenza e a percorrere la via del dialogo. A tutti, buona domenica nel ricordo cristiano dei nostri defunti.
Dear listeners, that has been the international news. As we go for a short break, we come back with the sports news.
choosing your battles. Pick yourself up and dust yourself off and back in the saddle. You're on the front line, everyone's watching. You know it's serious, we're getting closer, this isn't over. The pressure's on, you feel it.
Welcome back from that commercial short break, and here we return with the sports news. We begin with the local sports news where FIFA Under 17 World Cup starts. The 2025 FIFA Uganda FIFA Under 17 World Cup officially gets underway on Monday in Qatar, marking the 20th edition of the Global Youth Showpiece and the first to feature an expanded 48-team format. The new structure replaces the previous Bino 24-team setup, doubling participation and offering more nationals the opportunity to showcase emerging talent. The expansion has particularly benefited Africa, which was allocated 10 qualification slots. Uganda will be making its maiden appearance at FIFA tournament after securing a spot through the AFCON Under 17 playoffs earlier this year. We have the story on this matter. As we continue with sports news, the Black Powers defeated Young Elephant 3-1 at Ebenezer University Ground in Lila to reclaim their number 1 position on the 16th FIFA Big League table, displacing Wakiso Giants, who will drop back to second. Goals from John Paul Asire, Rajab Fazil and International Maduka helped the Lila base side to overcome their neighbors in the weekend home fixture that was carried on to Monday morning. At Ebenezer University, the first half ended goals before the home side responded swiftly after, returning for the second half with Asire opening the scoring in the 47th minute, just 2 minutes into the second half. 10 minutes after the opening goal, the match was temporarily halted following a heavy downpour that left the playing surface flooded, deeming it unplayable. As we continue with sports, the Uganda Table Tennis Association (UTA) has received a 10 million Ugandan shilling boost from Lakan Motors ahead of the 2025 Ugandan Open Table Tennis Championship, set to take place from December 6th to 7th at Kaboja International School. The sponsorship underscores Lakan Motors' commitment to supporting sports development in Uganda and fostering corporate partnerships that create opportunities for young athletes. Speaking during the handover ceremony, UTA President Cyrus Mark Mwanga expressed appreciation to Lakan Motors for joining hands with the association. When I took office, I purposed to bring as many sponsors on board as possible. Lakan Motors is among the first of many partners who share vision to elevate table tennis across the country, said Mwanga. Elsewhere in sports, a footballer has been arrested after allegedly threatening Elsewhere in the stories, Bull goalkeeper Thomas Ikara's confidence in a goal has inspired the Ginger Base side to develop a very solid defense line, one of the meanest in the entire Uganda Premier League, UPL. The Eastern Giants, with the 27-year-old shortstopper in goal, just kept their fourth clean sheet in the fifth UPL game so far, as they held on for a goalless draw against Express on Saturday last week. The Eastern Giants have conceded just a goal in 450 minutes of UPL action this campaign. We return with the international sports news, where a footballer agent has been arrested. The incident has been described as horrendous ordeal for the player, who cannot be legally identified to deal with. The players' club are aware of the incident. Another man is allegedly to have been blackmailed and threatened by the same individual during the incident in question. No injuries were called at 23 and 40 minutes. Following the reports, a man had been threatened with a firearm. The accused, 31, was arrested on 8th September on suspicion of possession of firearms with intent, blackmail, and driving without license. As we conclude with the sports, a former England manager, Sir Gareth Southgate, says he is worried about unity amid a debate about flying the St. George's flag. A growing number of St. George's and Union Jack flags have appeared across England in recent months. While some people feel the flag raising is patriotic, others feel it is intimidating. Southgate, who spent 8 years in charge of the Three Lions, stepped down as manager following a Euro 2024 final defeat by Spain. Lastly, in sports news, Gary O'Neill has held talks with Wolves over a potential return to the club less than 12 months after he was sacked by regulation-threatened Premier League club. The Monarchs side have begun the process of appointing a new head coach following the dismissal of Vito Pereira on Sunday morning. Dear listeners, this has been the international sports news, and here we end our 11 o'clock. I remain Wandera. Stay tuned for the next program.